What's up? Three Colors here, where I get straight to the point. I don't beat around the bush. I get straight to the point. What I want to talk about right now is, bro. I guess I'm just going to share my goals right now. I'm trying to revive the black culture, bro. If you look at us, the black people as a race in America, we have the most influential culture. Everybody want to be like us. Everybody want to talk like us. Everybody want to dress like us. They want to rap like us. They want to. This has been happening since rock and roll, because we created rock and roll, which is created by a black woman named Rosetta Tharpe. Jazz, blues, rock and roll, R&B, you name it. Everything. We have imprinted culture. We are the breeders. We are the kind of like the mothers, so to speak, of American culture. Everything in American culture stems from what black people create as a culture. You know what I'm saying? But you ever notice that everybody thrives off our culture but us? And what I really believe is, back in the 60s and back in the 70s, they had a stronger respect for the black woman and family structure than we do now. And I'm not an old head, nothing. I didn't grow up in the 60s and the 70s and things like that. So my whole life, all I seen was, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on Tupac and Biggie and people who disrespected women. You know what I'm saying? And I know Tupac did respect women, but I'm saying, like, I grew up on, majority of my friends didn't even know who their dad was. Right? They either never met their dad, or they didn't have a relationship with their dad. So that's the type of environment I grew up in. But when I studied history, when I studied any type of thriving civilization, they've all had any civilization throughout history, any country, any they all had in common a strong family structure. You can't have a strong nation or a strong group of people without the value of a strong family structure first, because that's where it all starts. And you know what I mean? Like, it's all about, and hip hop is all about groupies and getting thoughts and stuff like that when you're a dude. And for females feel like, black females feel like, man, dudes out here hoeing around anyway, so they're doing the same things. It's like this culture is kind of messed up. And I guess what I want to do, one of the imprints I want to make, that I feel like I want to make while I'm here on this earth, is reviving the family structure in the black community. You know what I mean? We can still, that's not going to stop our creativity. That's not going to make us less creative. That's not going to make us less swag or whatever. But I want to stop associating masculinity with how many women you can sleep with. You feel me? Like, that has nothing to do with masculinity. It has everything to do with destroying our culture and our people. You know what I mean? Like, if we, I can go on and on, but all in all, I don't think you understand. I don't think most people understand how important it is to value a family structure, a mother, a father, and then children. That is so important. That's where all life comes from anyway. All life comes from mom, dad, and then there's family. Everything starts from the family structure. So if you got all these kids over here, you got moms over here, you got dads over here, how you going to have a strong culture where we actually work together and we stick together when we don't have a concept of structure or family structure or togetherness or unity? But we don't even see it in the household, or we don't even see it, that even if it's not in the household, we don't even see that being glorified or looked up to. Everything starts. Anybody who's watching me right now, it took a man and a woman to make you. That is the natural order. That's how it's supposed to be. But we don't really see that. And it's a lot of factors that played into it why, you know, in our black culture, we don't see that much. A lot of it's systematic from white people in power, to be honest, but I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm just saying is, we are the most influential culture in the world. You would think that Africans are, because they're the original black people. But black Americans, our culture is all over, it's global. And I don't know why. We only make up 12% of the US, but we're global. So I guess what I want to say in this video is just like, I guess I'm just expressing my my desire to bring unity back to the black community and family structure back. I'm not saying everybody gotta get married. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is I want us to value that again. If you look at every other race of people, right? Every other race. And some people might say, dang, Kyle, you being racist. Dang, Three Colors, you being racist, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. I'm not being racist. Because if you look at Chinese people Chinese people stick with Chinese people. You know what I mean? Even if they got kids and stuff like that, Chinese kids, and they might hang with the black people and white people, they still have a strong sense of culture and a strong sense of belonging to their culture, to their people, right? They might work in a family business, and even the same thing with white people. White people may, listen to our music and, be around us and stuff, but at the end of the day, they stick with each other. Every culture sticks with each other. And I'm not saying black people, we don't do that, but if you look at every single culture that's thriving, the Chinese people, white people, especially white Americans and Europeans and things like that, Arabic, like over in the Arabic countries, they all have a culture of a family structure. They all believe in mother, father, and children. And I feel like that's why they're a lot more unified than we are. And like I said, in the 60s and 70s, we were like that. But then, like I said, the government figured out a way to introduce food stamps and introduce these different things where you kick the black man out the household, you can get penalized for it. A lot goes into that. I'm not going to get into that. But yes, they figure out a way, the government figured out a way to, how can we get the black man out of the household? Because if we can get the black man out of the household, then we can just honestly destroy the whole culture. And that's pretty much what they did. Matter of fact, I'm just going to explain it. What they did in the 60s and 70s is they realized that, like I said, black people, we always been denied opportunities. I've even had my grandmother talk to me about how my grandfather was qualified. He was very intelligent. He's a college graduate. I don't know if he's a college graduate, but he went to college. He still couldn't get a job. So what happened? The government figured out a system. They said, okay, it's a perfect opportunity. We're going to destroy the black man. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer assistance to a household with a mother and children. But if they don't have, if the father is, we're going to offer financial assistance, which is food stamps or Section 8. But if the father lives in the house, you can get penalized to the point where you go to jail. You see what I'm saying? So that means with my grandmother and my grandfather, they were struggling at a certain point financially because he couldn't get a job. Nobody wanted to hire him. If she would have took Section 8, she can get Section 8 and she can get assistance, but by law, she would have had to kick my grandfather out of the house. What kind of law is that? What? But if you think about it, that's systematic. So, and if she was receiving assistance from the government and she didn't kick my grandfather out, that means she'll go to jail. That's crazy, but that's how it is. These are the little systematic things. One of the many systematic things that white people in power have done to destroy black influence in America. Now we still have our influence through culture, but as far as having power, they know that it's power in structure and family structure, and that's one of the ways that they figured out how to do away with that. So, yeah, I'm out. Gang gang.